All right, good evening to Who That Nation. Welcome to the WDN Chatline podcast. This the host CB, and I'm here with my co-host Saints Uptown. MOD, what's good with you, fam?
What's happening? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Let's get it. Let's get it.
Okay, Who That Nation. It's good to get back with you guys and talk Saints football once again. Um, I know the last time we talked to you guys was before the matchup last week against the New England Patriots. I will say, I had a lot going on for the post game, but pretty much we'll chirp on the post game a little bit. But from my end, I don't want to get too bamboozled on what happened last week because we have done that last year. Last year we played the Raiders, we put a goose egg up, and then we went right back to doing same old BS after that. So yes, it was a great win last week. And we'll chirp on it, but I'm not gonna get bamboozled off of that. And I still think it's more that our Saints can do, especially from an offensive perspective. But it's glad to have y'all in the building. Um, let's go ahead and get to the chat and shout it out right quick, Uptown.
Yeah. What's going on, Jerry? Shouts out to Jerry. Shouts out to Trav 504. Let me see what else I see. That's all I see in here so far. You see, I don't know if you can see anybody from your end yet.
No, these are only two so far. But shout out to y'all. Shout out to the ones that tune in. Jerry, I see you won't be able to call in tonight. That's fine, fam. But basically, before we get started, we just want to chirp on what happened last week, and then we'll get into this preview show. So we can start with Uptown. Uptown, what was your takeaway from our blowout victory, 34 nothing?
Um, I must admit, right? I am. I was encouraged by the bounce back game that they had with that, especially knowing the kind of pressure that Pete Carmichael and the offense was under all week. The week prior to that game.
Right.
So it was good to see them respond, and it was good to see some different stuff, going on the offense and stuff like that. And the defense played solid as I've seen them play all year. And I don't blame you. We don't need to be, because we seen what happened last season when we blew out the Raiders, and then we came back and we underwhelmed ourselves throughout the rest of the season. So I do dig that. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, right, when you take and you hold a professional football team to 0 points, that is awfully impressive. And it doesn't really matter who the team is. I mean, to 0 points, that's awfully impressive. I just hope that the team can, build confidence and that they can build off from that effort, unlike what we did last season. And that's all I really have to say about last week. I just wanted to chirp on that a little bit.
Fast. Yeah, and I will say, yeah, just basically the same thing. They responded to a guy that was, I mean, basically his job was on the line. I think right before the game, then Rappaport reported that it was basically put up or shut up. That's what he was hearing, and that was coming from sources inside the locker room, well, inside Saints camp. That it was either he do something that game or his job was gonna be in jeopardy. So just glad they responded, and it sounded like the players is on board with them. But you can tell by how AK was talking about some of the plays and stuff that you can tell they have been frustrated, at times with Pete with not calling, this and that or what they think he should be calling. You can tell it's kind of wasn't a vibe between him and the offensive players on what they need to be running. But nonetheless, like I said, it looked good last week. But I still think, the offense can do more. because the
Yeah.
defense did. I mean, they Tyron, that was a defensive touchdown, and then from a passing perspective, I think our pass offense, still has a ways to go. We hadn't reached the ceiling with our offense. So
No, we
yeah,
haven't
man,
reached
I
the
would say
ceiling with
that.
that offense at all. But that's all I really had to say about it. So we can just move on from that. That was a dub. Thanks for the dub. You understand? Now we need another dub. You know. So
Right.
let's get on these boys here. What you got, CB?
Shout out to RG Scott and Flamer just pulled up. Shout out to y'all. Okay, basically this opponent we got coming up this week, the Houston Texans. Basically what they're doing from a pass perspective, we can start on our defense against their offense, because really their offense is the shining spot of the team. And I do want to say, man, I want to thank David Tepper from the Carolina Panthers for selecting Bryce Young with the #1 overall pick and not
Mm-hmm.
selecting this guy. Because the way this
Mm-hmm.
guy have started off, we know it's early and stuff like that. We understand that, but the way it's looking right now, man, it's looking like that Stroud was the best quarterback coming out the draft. That's how it's looking right now. And if it keeps up, CJ Stroud's gonna be a problem. Fourth in the whole league in passing yards with
Mm-hmm.
1461. So Uptown, what's the takeaway from CJ Stroud? I mean, 'cause basically it starts with him. This guy, it got the offense moving.
He's looking impressive, man. He hasn't thrown a pick all season. He's looking real efficient with the football. The game don't seem like it's moving all that fast for him right now at the moment. So he looked like he's going to be a problem in this league, and I figured as much. I wasn't really too high on Bryce Young, and it has nothing to do with the fact that that he went to the Panthers or anything, or that he played for Alabama. It really had nothing to do with that. There's some intangible things about him, that I think is is a negative, for him, mainly his size. But it is what it is, man. I mean, I'm glad that David Tepper did what he did too. I don't even know if I thought it was between. I was hearing that it was going to be either Bryce Young or that other kid too, man. I don't think that this kid
Richardson.
was even or Richardson. I don't think that this kid was even on his radar. Which is good for me. I can buy that. I'm cool with that. But this cat here is going to be a problem. Let's hope that he don't be a problem for us tomorrow. But I do believe that in the future he's going to be a problem. He's definitely going to be a problem. So let's just hope that he don't be a problem for us tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And that's it.
Just some numbers.
What you got?
Just some numbers. I mean, the guy he got 7 TDs, no interceptions, haven't turned the ball over. As far as their offense as a whole, they got the 4th ranked passing offense in the whole entire league. So their passing offense is damn sure looking better than ours. Their rushing offense is ranked 26 in the league. They only got 1 rushing TD. So the bread and butter of their offense is going to be their pass attack. So hopefully, looking at it from our defensive end, we're going to have to be putting pressure on CJ Stroud, because obviously, he got the ball zipping in the air and these receivers are eating. So going to have to put pressure on CJ Stroud. And our DBs is going to be mano. And I believe our guys is going to be ready.
I think what's going on here is that is their strength. It's their strength against our strength. Pretty much. They pass the ball well. We defend the pass well. So it's kind of a mano-a-mano type battle. And I put I think I give the edge to our secondary because of the experience that they have. Number one, and number two, they playmaking ability. And I do believe too that tomorrow will be the first time in his career that he turned the ball over. Remember I said it. You know, he's gonna throw an interception tomorrow. Remember I said
That'll be great.
yeah, he's gonna either throw one to Marshawn or Paulson about to get them a nice one tomorrow. And I'm basing that on the scheme that's one thing that I give that I do give Dennis Allen credit for, and would always give him credit for, you know, is his ability to call a defense. And he already called a defense earlier this season that baffled a rookie, you know, when he called that game against Bryce Young. And I think that he's going to call a good game against C.J. Stroud as well. And they offense is really imbalanced, because what that offense really want to do, that offense really want to run the football. That offensive coordinator they got, he's a disciple of Kyle Shanahan, and that's what they like to do first. They like to establish the run, and that's really what they like to do. You know, so if we can take and keep, you know, stopping their run, because we top 10 in against the run this season right now. So we starting to get back into our prominence with that a little bit, and put some pressure on C.J. Stroud. The main thing we have to do is, and I'm learning why this happens so often.
Right.
Because
let's take a
I
look
leave
at
them,
some of their
you
receivers.
know, rushing lane. You know,
You said rushing. Say that again.
I know they got
didn't-
that dude. What's his name? I say we got to stay disciplined in our rushing lanes so that he won't dip on us. And they do have I think they got, what's his name, that used to play for the Rams. I know he played for them. He's one of their wide receivers. And then they got a
Talking
little
about
young
Robert
kid
Woods.
that plays for Woods. And then they have a
Yeah.
young kid, that young kid Adwell, I think his name is. He's a big, huge playmaker for them. They was talking about he wasn't going to play this game.
Think you done cut out, fam.
But they've been saying they've been moving his status up more and more. Don't be. And who's the rest of the wide receivers? I can't remember.
They got
Who the rest
Nico
of them?
Collins. They got Nico Collins, John Mechie, Tank Dale. I believe Tank Dale is. I done heard that name ring. I think they top receiver, if I'm not mistaken.
Dale that's the. Yes, he is, and he's supposed to be very dynamic. And that's the dude I was just telling you about. I got him mixed up. That's the dude I was telling you about. Got a concussion last week, and his status, you know, been creeping up. You know, every week. You know, throughout the course of the week, his status been creeping up. So don't be surprised if he plays tomorrow. And that Mechie, he's pretty good too. You know, so we don't need to be sleeping on him either. So he he got a nice little group of young wide receivers and stuff, you know, at his disposal, and obviously he's been doing quite well with them. You know, they have one of the top, you know, passing offenses in the NFL right now. So we need to go in there, man, you know, with the the serious about what's going on. Like I say, and what I found out is that we can't really avoid that sometimes, that with the quarterbacks running, I had to really figure out why that happens to us so often. Why it happens a lot is because we play a lot of man defense. So our cornerbacks, sometimes even safeties and stuff, they back is turned. So when they take and they pressure these quarterbacks out of these lanes and stuff like that, that gives them the ability to run. That's why it got to be imperative on the defensive line to be disciplined within their rush lanes, so that they don't allow this kid to run on us, man. That's the main fear that I have. I really don't have any fear of us being able to confuse him and play coverage on their wide receivers and all that. My fear is him being mobile enough to field and stuff like that. So we need Granderson, we need Jordan, Passano, whoever playing, man. They need to be very, very disciplined within their run lanes, man. And when they have the ability or they have the opportunity to take this kid down to the ground, take his ass down to the ground.
Fast. And that's just looking at their offensive line
in this game,
well, I'm looking at their offensive line. Larry Tunsil, you know he's gonna be a problem. Larry Tunsil, he's probably gonna be going up against Carl Granderson. So, hopefully Carl can hold his own. But yeah, their offensive line I think pretty solid. I mean, for their pass attack to be able to be successful right now, they line got to be doing something in the pass protection. They got to be giving Stroud enough time. I see Shaq Mason. We went up and he was in Tampa. I believe, yeah, he was in Tampa. We should be able to eat on that. George Faint, I done heard that name. Yeah. I don't really know how solid he is or if he's solid, but they've been giving Stroud enough time to get the ball off. He hasn't turned the ball over, so he hasn't been under too much duress to turn the ball over. So, the offensive line our defensive line gotta get pressure on him. Our front four. We shouldn't have to be sending too many blitzes.
Well, they say that this line is much improved over what they had last season. This was awful last season. They said, much of the people, I think there are only two of them, is people that was on the line last season. I think they may have been Tunsil and somebody else, that they have all. I think everybody else is pretty much new, but you still don't want to take that for granted when thinking about it, because that was the same position that we was in early in the season, when we played against Tennessee. They whole entire line had been revamped, and I thought that we should have did a better job on that than what we did. So we shouldn't take that for granted. We should play these people, man, like they serious, like they one of the top, offensive lines in the league. Approach this game with the same seriousness as if they were the top offensive line in the league. And put pressure on them, because pressure busts fights. If we can put pressure on C.J. Stroud, it's going to be over with, because then that's going to afford him to make mistakes. Whether it's him throwing interceptions, whether him overthrowing, underthrowing receivers, whatever that is, that's what we're going to have to do.
And shout out to Brian Brzee. Brian Brzee has been outstanding on the defensive side.
Oh yes, he has. This kid, man, and I want Saints fans, listen up, Who That Nation. Like, in 5 games this season, right, Brian Brzee is commanding double teams. In 5 games this season, he didn't register not one stat last week. He didn't have a tackle. He didn't have a sack. He didn't have nothing. but there's about 3 particular plays that he was responsible for making because he took up double teams. And he allowed his teammates to make the play. And it was 3 sacks. Y'all can go back and check it out and see what I'm talking about on the film. So his impact, man, has been tremendous in it, and he has been getting better every week. And I also like what we saw last week from well, we'll talk about that later because we ain't even on that side of the ball. But yeah, Brian Bresee is looking nice. I was impressed. I've been impressed with Jordan Howden playing safety. In lieu of Marcus May being, suspended. And I think that we got to spend.
I think we lost Uptown, but I think he was chirping on Marcus May. Marcus May, we do get Marcus May back this week, so definitely excited about that. He was also chirping on Jordan Howden. Jordan Howden has been taking some incredible steps during Marcus May absence, so hopefully Howden can keep it up. Hopefully he can keep it up and at some point start taking them steps to become a starter, maybe a year or 2 from now. Hit Uptown, you chirping on Marcus May.
Yeah, man, Marcus May, I love how Howden was able to come in and perform admirably, in the absence of Marcus May. And I love the fact that we drafted him. Well, I think Howden was maybe an undrafted, if I'm not mistaken. And he done came in here and he's doing well now, and that's somebody that we're gonna have probably, for the next, 4 to 5 seasons, and this was somebody that, that came to us as a rookie, and I can only see him getting better. So I think we straight in that area. As a matter of fact, that secondary seemed like it's one of the strengths of the team now.
Oh yeah, facts.
So what you got, CB? Should we go to the other side of the ball? Or I think that's about it. That's all we can really say about that.
Wraps everything up.
One thing too, man, we got to stop the run. They do have a little running back, and he is pretty good. I think the dude's name is David Price. I think that's his name.
Amen. Pierce.
Yeah, he's a strong runner. Yeah, he's a strong runner, man, and I do respect his game. So we need to keep him in line too. Please keep him in line, because if not, it's going to be a long day for us. But that's it about that with the defense. Now let's go to the side of the ball that we used to love to talk about. This side of the ball, you understand? But nowadays it's a struggle talking about this side of the ball. What about this offense? What you think? Let's see with this offense, how we project this offense to go up against this defense.
Well, one positive we can take away is we was living in the red zone a lot of the time, so that is something that we can take away and hopefully get consistent with, because we got the firepower to live in the red zone and capitalize, score points. We shouldn't be averaging 16, 17 points a game this season. So, basically, Derek Carr, he's going to have to play a good game. Their defense, we just read their defensive rankings. Their pass defense is ranked 19th in the league, so that's a little bit below average. And then their run defense is ranked 16th, so it's about they told their defense as a whole, about an average defense. So it shouldn't be no better than what we was getting from New England. So, with that being said, it starts with Derek Carr, man. He definitely gotta continue making sound decisions. Made some sound decisions last week. far as with AK, we know what AK gonna do in the backfield. Had an exceptional game last week, especially on the ground. At the receiver position, well, first let me get to the offensive line right quick. We talk about the receivers, but did Trevor Penning lose his position?
Man,
I mean,
I've been hearing that all. I've been hearing gripes of that all week. You understand? And then I heard some alarming stats about him. They saying that he is missing over 50% of his blocks, and we not just talking about pass blocking here. We talking about they saying that he's not blocking well in the running game either. But that he was smaller. And I was hearing that it was all contingent on Andrews Pete, who for some reason got a damn injury on yesterday, who came up injured yesterday with a groin injury after he practiced all week. This man cannot be relied upon to do a goddamn thing, man. And I was hearing that they was going to kick Hurts back out at tackle and put Andrews Pete in the game because Trevor is struggling so bad. Which, in a way, I think if we bench Trevor, that's going to be a mistake. I really feel like that could be a mistake. I really do.
Yeah, because I mean, as far as the offensive line, it's been getting better. I mean, they've been getting protection. They've been giving Carr some time. That's been improving as time been going on. But man, I'm surprised and alarmed to hear that Trevor Penning hasn't been great in the run game. Yeah, all we've been talking about is that physicality. Once he put paws on you and just throwing people to the ground and stuff. I didn't know it was to this extent. I just really thought it was his pass blocking. But maybe I wasn't paying too much attention.
The tape states that out of a possible 8 run blocks last week, that he missed like 6 of them. And then I'm hearing, man, that they think this is alarming because that's going to start to give people tendencies about us. Is that we have ran the ball like 80 sometimes to the right and like maybe 20 sometimes to the left. With shows and stuff that they have no confidence in that left side, period. And that left side consists of Trevor and James Hurts. So they're showing that they have really no faith in nothing in running the ball on that side. And that is very, very alarming to me, CB. That's very alarming. And I'm like, if this kid really, Trevor missed all the last season. Mostly all the last season. I mean, he came in some spot up duty, some spot, duty during the end of last season and did that in the third. But his rookie season was a wash. And I'm thinking that this is his rookie season. And I knew that we was going to have to put up with whatever the bumps and bruises and stuff was with this dude, man, in hopes that he can get the experience and be a better tackle for us in the future. Because oftentimes people in those positions can stay on your team, for damn near 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Playing tackle. So that's what I was hoping, man. I think that if we take Trevor out, I think that's going to be a mistake. It's going to be a mistake towards, either hurting his confidence, hurting his development, and it may even be a mistake because I don't, I wouldn't call James Hurts. He ain't, even though he got the experience, he's not a better tackle. He's much better than Trevor when it comes down to it,
Right.
So and that's what I'm like, trying to figure that out. And then I remember, I think a few weeks ago, we signed a tackle that used to play for Kansas City. Um, as a matter of fact, he was on their team when they won the championship.
I
Now,
remember the name, but I don't.
I don't know what I mean. I know he was on the practice squad, and I'm like, if that's the case, then if that's they should let him come in and play. I would trust him, even though I haven't seen much of him.
I
Much
mean,
more than I would trust. So I don't know, bro. I mean, I don't know what we'll find out tomorrow, CB. If
yeah,
Trevor's
I
starting
mean,
tomorrow, then I guess
right. I mean, like you said, I think it'd be a mistake if he was playing the way he was week 1 and that would have been continued, then yeah, we could see why. But I mean, honestly, just watching, I mean, maybe like I said, maybe I wasn't paying too much attention, when it came to his run blocking, but I know from a pass perspective standpoint, I mean, he's been getting better, and Derek Carr still ain't been making nothing shake. Up until really last week, from a pass, but the way the game went last week, I mean, yeah, his numbers was okay because he wasn't needed to really sling the ball like that. But I'm talking about, the first 4 games where he was starting to get time in the pocket and he was still just standing back there like a statue. That was on Derek Carr. And Trevor, he improved from that standpoint. From a
yeah,
running perspective, AK ran the ball, pretty well last week. So I don't think he was being a liability like he was holding the.
yeah,
He was the reason the run game was being held back because he's pretty productive in the run game. I think just let him go out, just let him go through the growing pains. If it's not affecting the offense line as a whole, and that means as far as like it's bad to where the defensive end is in the backfield every play, stopping the run and getting the Derek Carr. If it's not that bad, just let him go through his growing pains. 'Cause like you said, James Hurts, it ain't like you going you know, from pieces of chocolate to a whole big old cake. It ain't like that much of an upgrade.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just say keep him in, let him go through his growing pains. 'Cause, yeah, basically this is rookie year because he was out extended period of time last season. RG said something got to be
Yeah.
going wrong mentally. Yeah,
Well, it
I
could be
don't know,
something going on
fam, but
mentally, man. Maybe he's swimming and stuff, but I know at one point in time, bro, the game is gonna have to slow down for him. And if the game don't slow
right,
down for him, then he's gonna find himself out of the league, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's just keeping it real with that. I just hope that he eventually come around. Especially, man, like it seemed like you can't really see what's going on in the trenches sometimes in terms of run blocking. You know what I'm saying? But he certainly seemed like he has improved as far as his pass blocking is concerned. Because I haven't seen much pressure and stuff, coming from his side, like talking about it. Not no ways like what we seen early in the season when he was letting Arden Key kick his ass. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but if we need him to block better in the running game, well, his ass need to block better. And he got to realize, hey, look, bro, you messing your money up. This is how you can set your family up for generations to come. If that's what you want to do, brother, then go on and do that. You know what I'm saying? But if not, you better get your head out your ass, man. You know what I'm saying? And get it cranking, bro. And that's one of the main things. And then I heard you say that how the run game looked. Yeah, it did look, pretty decent last week. Talked about all balls to carry. That ain't good. You understand? You want to get full yards and better when it comes down to running the football. We can do better than that. With the people that we have, man, we have 1, 2, 3 first round picks, man, on that offensive line. We should be able to do better than that. You understand? We got
I think you went out, Uptown. Before we go to the receivers, I just wanted to ask you what was your takeaway on Ramchat? You think he playing at
sometimes when they bring in that's 4. You hear me?
Yeah, you kind of went out for a minute, but I hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, all got to stop holding on to the ball because some of those sacks, man, ain't on the offensive line, and I noticed that last week. He need to stop holding on to the ball. And I got to tell y'all, man, I keep emphasizing this, right? We know what good quarterback can look like now. You can't just have any quarterback go out there and he do something right. We no. We know what good quarterback can look like right now. You understand? We have been accustomed to it. We was fortunate enough to have a Hall of Fame quarterback, with us for like 16 years, 16 seasons.
Right.
And this dude, man, when this dude back up, when you hit your back foot, bro, the ball's supposed to be coming out. Whether it's coming out going to somebody, or whether you done surveyed the field already and you're throwing it away so you don't make a mistake. This holding on to the football too damn long, you understand, it's not really doing anything for us right now. He got to be able to make his reads a lot faster than that. And they be people wide open, man, and he's still holding on to the damn ball. So I'm hoping that he get better with that too, as time goes on. I know he's in a new offensive system and stuff. He got to get acclimated with that, man. But now we in week 6 now. After pretty much, man, this week or whatever, literally last week, this week, this who we are. You understand? It don't take no 8 games. It don't take no 10 games for you to see who we are. This who we are. Now I want to see, and what I seen last week, we seemed like we was a team that ran the football, and everything was working off the run. I hope that is a good identity to establish, even though I don't think we really have an identity on offense yet. Maybe that's the identity that we have now.
Fast. I want to read this comment right quick. Shout out to Warrior93 said, any good news on Williams and what y'all think about Miller versus Williams? Who should get more touches when Williams is back? You can answer that, Uptown. I think I'll just say this. I think if the rookie continues to impress, because really New England was his first game that he really stood out. So if that continues, then yeah, you gotta get a rookie more touches.
Okay. Are you talking about
Talking about Kendra Miller and then Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams. Uptown just he didn't get back on. They having some technical issues, but I believe the rookie fell. The rookie, if he continued his success, really this New England game was a game that he stood out. Now, is New England just in that bad of a position? Like I said, we're gonna see this week. That's why, with me, I'm not overreacting. As far as from the defensive side, the defense have shown what they can do, but the offense, we're just not getting overreactive right now. So if that continues with the rookie, then yeah, I say go with the rookie more.
Well, I'm sorry, man. I was trying to answer that question, and I got booted out for some reason. I don't know what's going on my internet. But um, yeah, are we talking about Jamal as opposed to Kendra? That's what we was
Yeah,
talking about.
yes,
As long as Kendra is playing well, he's not making no mistakes. He's picking up blitzes and stuff, doing all that stuff well. I think that he should see the field. And I don't think we really brought Jamal in really, to do some of the things that we was asking him to do anyway. Jamal is real, is supposed to be. He was supposed to be more of a red zone threat running the football. Because last season he had more rushing touchdowns than any back in the league last season. But Detroit primarily used him when they got in the red zone, and I thought that's how we was going to use him, ourselves. But Kendra is looking really, really good, and he's looking like he can be a special player too. So no, I don't want his minutes and stuff to be restricted. I think that it's a matter of time before he go for something big.
right.
So what we got
Okay.
here?
I mean, really, this comment, fam. I mean, he responded to what you said. I mean, basically, it just come down to what the coaches want. I mean, yeah, because AK gonna be used in the red zone as well. I mean, that was gonna be the case regardless if Williams is there or not. Williams is gonna be in there, a couple snaps in the red zone. So we just see. I don't think Miller is gonna be a red zone threat right now. I don't think they're gonna be utilizing him in the red zone. So regardless if Miller was there or not, Jamal Williams was brought to the Saints to be used in the red zone. So yeah, but AK and Williams is gonna be used in the red zone.
Yeah, and I hope that this dude Jamal that he can come back off from that hamstring injury, you know, successfully, because those are the kind of things. Sometimes those things can linger, you know. But I like the way Kendra look, man. I think they need to. Pete needs to call more screens and stuff for him. I think he's good at that kind of. And I think he can. He need to call. He need to start calling some of that. You know what I'm saying? Get that
Right.
screen game going, and that will also slow down some of that pass rush that people be trying to come at us with too. And that can probably, give those offensive linemen, some reason to go out, and attack rather than responding all the time.
Right. What's your
Go.
takeaway on Chris Olave? Chris Olave been kind of been. I ain't gonna say he been in a slump because he had. I know that one catch that was a catch in my opinion, and then he
Yeah.
had another one that was out of bounds. So I mean, what's your takeaway on him? You know you
I
see it as
think
far as just a slump or just he just ain't getting the targets?
I don't think it has anything to do with him. It has a lot to do with the trigger man. You
Right.
understand? He need to start looking more for liability. And he needs to throw him better balls. I seen that one ball that when he went out of bounds. He could have threw him a better ball than that. And then that time when he had that um when he could have scored that touchdown, Chris got to realize too, man, that you got to hold on to the football because he had that catch that time. The ball was in his hand, and he went through the end zone. I actually thought that should have been a touchdown,
Right.
but so that that you don't have that kind of stuff up in question, you need to hold on to the football. I think Chris Olave is a dynamic receiver. And I also think that he's the best receiver that we have on our football team. He's better than Mike and he's better than Rashid. So
Facts.
they need to make a They need to always have a concentrated effort to get him the football. And I like the way that Pete Carmichael attacked the middle of the field, last week. But he need to do that more, and he need to do that more with the tight ends. These tight ends haven't made no plays, man, and we thought that was going to be one of the strengths of our team coming into the season. No plays. They ain't making no plays whatsoever. Have not made any plays other than that one touchdown that Jimmy Graham caught. And then we end up losing that game. So,
ridiculous. Like I said last week, hopefully this was a kickstart offensively. Hopefully.
We're gonna see tomorrow. If they go out, man, and lay an egg tomorrow, then it's the same bullshit. And I hate to tell y'all this, Saints fans, that's something that we're gonna have to expect the rest of the season. So, pretty much tomorrow is kind of a barometer on what we're gonna really look like throughout the course of the rest of this season. That's about that'll be about a little over a quarter of the season, being played. Have 6 games. You know what I'm saying? So that should be a good enough sample size to let you know what kind of team you got. I think about week 6, all the communication issues and all that stuff, what it should have been worked out and all that, with the offensive line, so defensive line, the second, all that kind of stuff needs to be worked out now. You understand? It shouldn't take you 8 to 10 games out. Hell, the New Orleans Saints really going to be this week. Now, tomorrow. Now, if they can put up a dominant performance or somewhere near a dominant performance like they did last week, then we looking good, man. Otherwise, we gonna have to worry about some things, unfortunately. So now that we didn't understand, we know where the weaknesses and stuff at. You understand? I'm pretty sure that they talked to, or I wish that they talked to, Trevor and tell him where he's deficient at and try and put light a fire underneath his ass. We gonna have to see, man. We gonna have to see. And tomorrow we'll find out a whole lot. We should find out a whole lot tomorrow.
That's fast. Yeah, shout out to Mike T. I mean, yeah, Mike T has definitely been playing exceptionally well. He definitely been playing exceptionally well. I mean, I really ain't gonna, try to debate that. I mean, at the end of the day, Derek Carr has not been giving these guys the balls like that anyway. I mean, even
I think Mike can play better, and I think Mike can play better.
Yeah, he can play better. Derek Carr just ain't been really getting these guys the balls like that. We should be up here. We should be in the C.J. Stroud conversation. Derek Carr should. We got a rookie quarterback. Ranked 4th in the lead in passing yard. That's supposed to be Derek Carr. DC. AK was out 3 games. In those 3 games, he definitely should have been lighting the fire out of that football. I don't even think he done reached 1,000 yards. Like I said, I ain't being negative or nothing. I said we took a step. And let's see what happens tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, even Mike T has, he definitely showed that, he's healthy, so he still got it. He can get open. But even with that being said, man, he hadn't even been getting the ball enough. And damn sure Olave hadn't. Olave can make more happen with the football, compared to Mike.
I've been most
That's
impressed.
the thing. Mike he gonna get the possession receptions and a few here and there, get a few 30-yard, 35-yard games. But Olave, he showed he got the capability to make huge, crucial plays. Carr just got
Yeah,
to get him the freaking football.
I just blame when it comes down to Mike too, right? The reason why I say he can play better, it has nothing to do with him and him, going out there showing that he can play better. It has a lot to do with coaches putting him in position to play better. This season, man, we have hardly called any slant routes with him. I don't give
Nope.
a damn if they call him slant boy or whatever. You understand? That's routes that he can eat off. You know, run them slant routes, especially when we get into a jam. It's third and long, third and seven, third and eight, third and nine. Go run a slant route for him, man. You understand? And get that first down. You see what I'm saying? That's what they need to do with that dude, man. Run the slant route with him, man. And that stuff, will open up because most of them slants is being ran down the middle of the field. That will force them, man, to take and defend every part of the field against defending certain areas. Which is what I feel like they've been doing. So
Facts.
so Pete need to know what the hell he's doing now. Everybody need to be in their groove now. Everybody need to be in their groove now. Everybody. It's week 6 now. Everybody need to be in their groove now. I want to see a very efficient game and stuff tomorrow. And the main thing that I want us to stay out of is stop getting all these damn penalties. I think we had 11 penalties last week, man, for 86 yards. That's the equivalent of a whole damn drive.
Facts.
Them people could have scored off from us, man, just from the mistakes we was making on penalties alone. And we still doing that dumb shit. We need to get up out of that, man, because that's hurting drives. It's stalling drives. Sometimes it's taking points off the board. They need to cut that shit out, man. That's being undisciplined. And that stuff that goes down to coaching. Coaches got to be meticulous about that, telling players to slap with the penalties and all that other kind of bullshit. So, man, look, bro. Tomorrow we shouldn't have no more than maybe 5 penalties, man. Tomorrow, maybe. You understand? I mean, I don't expect us to play a penalty-free game, but let's not have 11 and 12 penalties and all that kind of stuff. And then the moments that those penalties come in, oftentimes be crucial. Eliminate those penalties during crucial moments too.
Facts.
So that's pretty much with that. I don't know what more I can say about. I think we touched on the running backs, which I think the running backs should eat, because I've been regardless of what we just seen, what we read on those stats, man. I've seen a little bit of a few of their games, man. My eye test tells me that they really suck against the run. That they're not really very good against the run. So we need to run it down their damn throat. And Trevor need to find his keys and make his key blocks and be the nasty dude that we thought he was going to be. And David don't need to be hesitating with the ball. If nobody ain't open, man, throw it away. Stop taking these damn sacks.
And take off. I mean, he got some average feet. Like, take off.
Yeah, here it is, man.
I don't know what he's doing.
We see Jameis take off. He don't take off whatsoever. He just stay back there like that, and then, they eventually catch up to him and sack his ass. I really wish he would stop holding on to the ball. I'd much rather see him throw the ball away rather than take a sack. Throw the ball away, man. You understand? Live for another play. Because you keep taking them sacks, man. They sack you. All they need to do is sack you one good time and have you to fumble the damn ball. That can be a game changer.
Facts.
You know,
And just to
so
name a few players on their defense, because we didn't mention no one on their defense. You know, you got the rookie Will Anderson. I don't know who he gonna be lined up against. Whether it's gonna be Ramchick, whether it's gonna be James Hurst or Trevor. If they keep Trevor in the game, they got Sheldon in the middle. They got Malik Collins in the middle, and then Jonathan Greener. Ain't really heard too much of him. Denzel Perriman, he been a solid veteran. And then on the outside, they got Shaquille Griffin, used to be with Seattle and Jacksonville. Then they got Jimmy Ward in the backfield. Jimmy Ward. And they got Steven Nelson. I think Steven Nelson been playing some top 10 corner football. Because I believe I seen him in, he's been playing exceptionally well. So, they got some solid names. Jimmy Ward, solid. I think Jimmy Ward.
I thought they had Derek. I thought Derek Stingley played for them too, man. In that backfield, they cornerback. He was drafted number 1 draft pick. Last season, I think.
Right. I believe.
But I heard he was. I think he was hurt or something. I think he might be hurt. None of them dudes you mentioned scares me. You know what I'm saying? None of them dudes scares me. I'm not scared by that Shaquille Griffin because he used to be burnt toast over there at Seattle. Jimmy Ward, he was solid. You know what I'm about. As far as the safety is concerned, I guess he's okay. You know what I'm saying? Now, this other dude you talking about, the other corner over there, I haven't really seen much of him really to formulate an opinion. You know, because I know that's where Derek Stingley had been lined up, mostly. So, these dudes is right for the taking, man. We are more gifted offensively than what they are defensively.
Facts.
We should be able to win this game, man. We just, provided we don't make stupid mistakes, and they don't have any poor coaching decisions, we should win this game, man. You know what I'm saying? And, people need to play smart. That's what we need. We need these players to play smart, try and play penalty free, and execute. And by all means, Derek Carr, don't be holding on to the ball. I don't think this team, really last week, you almost threw an interception last week. People don't talk about that, from holding on to the ball too long. You're going to have to cut that out, man, because, these cornerbacks, somebody going to take you. They're going to pick your pocket for you. And Trevor Payton, man, if you don't want to hurt your money, you don't want to hurt your status, you don't want to lose your job, which is what would happen, man, if they take you out. I mean, you got demoted. You either have the game of your life, man, tomorrow, and start having the game of your life throughout the rest of the damn season. Because you can't be up and down like the Dow Jones. You can't play good, and next week you play bad, and you play good, and you play bad, play good, play bad. You can't seesaw like that. You got to be consistently good, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we thought a lot about you, man. Took you in the first round of the draft. We drafted you before we drafted Olave. So you need to make through, man. You need to come through and show people, why you was taken so high. Because right now you're not looking good, man, in any aspect of the game right now. Your pass blocking is, average at best. And your run blocking, I'm hearing is, just plain 100% average. Period. Not even high average or nothing like that. So it's a put up, shut up game for him too. They've been whispering about taking his job. He needs to go out there and have the job, have the game of his life. CB.
Big facts.
That's all I have to really say about that.
But you got any final thoughts? CB? I do want to shout out before we wrap it up. Shout out to Blake Groupie. 2 field goals made over 50 yards last week.
Yeah, that kid is looking nice, man.
Booster.
And I thought that was a better game too from Lou too last week. Yes. I thought Lou played a better game too last week too. And there was a few times, man, Lou had them people, man, inside their 10-yard line. You know, for most of the game he did pretty much. You know, so both of them are young dudes. Well, Lou ain't much young, but both of the rookies, you know, specialists, you know, played pretty decent last week. They played pretty good last week. So shout out to them for that. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's listening to us. Please, you know, like, comment, subscribe, share this, you know, to your channels or whatever, your pages or whatever. Tell a friend to tell a friend, you know, all that good stuff. What you got, CB?
Shout out to the WDN for tuning in tonight, man. Just be sure to like, subscribe, follow the page, and basically, for tomorrow, we know the Tampa Bay Bucks straight bitch slapped us the other week ago, so we got to make sure we're doing what we had to do, because right now they're ahead in the division. And yes, it's early, but you still gotta pay attention to the division. You can't fall back in the division. Games like this, we take an L tomorrow and Tampa win. We're 2 games behind Tampa, so we have to be aware of what's going on in our division, along with being ready in general for the football game. Regardless of what they're doing offensively in the air, which is great things. The rookie is off to a hell of a rookie start. But we still have the better football team, and we should be in a match. Well, I ain't going to say match because they shouldn't be getting off on us like that tomorrow. I don't think that personnel is going to really eat off us like that tomorrow. But we should be able to explode offensively on these guys. Let's keep that momentum up. Derek Carr, stop standing around in the pocket. Get the ball out.
Yep.
Pete Carmichael, continue to call a good game. You called a good game against the Patriots. Continue that. Let's get this shit rocking, man. Falls tomorrow we can do a post game. You know, I'll chat with the guys, see if y'all available. I mean, we should be good tomorrow. But that's pretty much it, man. Like I said, shout out to the whole WDN. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. It's the WDN Chatline podcast, and we're out. Who that?
Who that, baby? For life.